Sorry, it says Johnson. All right, Mr. Johnson. All right, thank you. Ms. Felder?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Goss? Ms. Boyd? Is that a yes, ma'am? All right. Mr. Jones?
Guilty.
Mr. Coleman?
Guilty.
Mr. McKinley?
Guilty.
Mr. Bullock? Ms. Bullock, excuse me. All right. Let,
I'm way misunderstanding here.
I can't, I was having trouble hearing. All right. You may approach. It's very important we understand what your response is. And so I'm going to ask you to speak loudly so that I can hear you. The verdict that I have recorded here is we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. So I'm going to ask you, Ms. Gauze, is not guilty your verdict?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Ms. Boyd.
Are you asking?
I'm asking you if you voted not guilty.
I voted guilty.
You voted guilty. All right. Mr. Jones.
I voted guilty.
All right. Mr. Coleman.
I voted guilty.
All right. Mr. McKinley.
I voted guilty.
Ms. Bullock.
I voted guilty.
All right. Ms. Martin.
Not guilty.
All right. Ms. Madison.
I voted guilty.
All right. Mr. McGee.
Not guilty.
Mr. Lampkin.
Guilty.
Mr. Johnson.
Jackson. Not guilty.
Ms. Felder. All right. May I see the jury instructions, please? It is very important that you all try again to reach a verdict, all right? Obviously, there's a split between you all as to the verdict in this case. I'm going to read you the instruction again. Give you some more time to deliberate. I don't know why the verdict was recorded as it was, but at any rate, I'm going to ask you to go back, consider your verdict, deliberate, and please record your verdict accurately, all right? I know that it is possible for honest men and women to have honest, different opinions about the facts of a case. But if it is possible to reconcile your differences of opinion and decide this case, then you should do so. Accordingly, I remind you that the court originally instructed you that the verdict of the jury must represent the considered judgment of each juror. It is your duty as jurors to consult with one another and to deliberate in view of reaching an agreement if you can do so without violence to your individual judgment. Each of you must decide the case for yourself, but only after an impartial consideration of the evidence with your fellow jurors. In the course of your deliberations, do not hesitate to re-examine your own views and change your opinion if you are convinced it is erroneous. But do not surrender your honest convictions as to the weight or effect of the evidence solely because of the opinion of your fellow jurors or for the mere purpose of returning a verdict. Please continue your deliberations. You may approach. Court will remain in order. We're going to stand just for a moment in recess. I may have another jury instruction to read you. All right? So just stay in our seats a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put you back in your jury room, and I hope it won't be long before I send for you, but I'll send for you as soon as I can. Thank you.